I play too much Minecraft for my own good. I have blocks on my mind at all times. You know, my life revolves around playing this game and building things in this game. It's even gotten to the point where sometimes I dream about it. That's an embarrassing fact that I probably shouldn't have shared, but I've shared it. But that does mean that I have gotten pretty good at it, and that means that I do have some advice to give to players in Minecraft if you want to become just ever so slightly better. So I think it's time for some life hacks. 25 of them, this is number 1. So you want to build a diagonal staircase of blocks. Now, generally speaking, the way that we do this is by doing something like that, but that means that every single time you place in a block, you're also losing a block. It's not the most efficient way of doing things. What you can do is you can get yourself a block with a small hitbox, and then you can place blocks actually on the side of that hitbox without having to move anywhere. Now, there is a bit of a fine art to it, but trust me, you do get quicker as you practice it. Life hack number 2. As of Minecraft 1.14, trapdoors are definitely your friend. You should carry them with you everywhere because they allow you to instantly have access to crawling, which allows you to get into places that you otherwise wouldn't have been able to go, like this lovely, dirty, granity hole. You know, I kind of wish that I didn't have my trapdoor on me this time. This is horrible. Life hack number 3. Am I going to do this every single time? I don't know. I didn't plan on doing this every single time. Anyway, this is the 3rd one. According to people who are good at flying with the Elytra, the way to actually stay agile in the air is to activate your firework rockets while you want to do sharp turns. Because if you don't, you kind of float and do some slightly less accurate stuff. So if you have your rocket boosters activated, you can change direction really quickly. This is hurting my brain a little bit. But what if you don't have a literal gazillion firework rockets, alright? Because most people don't. This is life hack number 4. The best way to fly long distances without using loads of rockets is to use what's known as the 40-40 trick. So you want to point yourself down towards 40 degrees and then up towards 40 degrees, and you're kind of flying this up and down pattern, but you'll be able to travel amazingly far, really without using too much fuel. Next life hack, please. I hate things like granite, diorite, disgusting, andesite, all the other things that I'm probably forgetting as well. So before I go on mining sessions, I like to get my inventory set up something a little bit like this. Stone, I also don't need too much of that, so there's not too many slots for it. Redstone, obviously, I need tons of, so there's plenty of slots available for that. And this means that when I'm mining, only the good stuff will end up in my inventory. Life hack number 5. Which is German, I think. That also means 5. This is actually life hack number 6. Anyway, we all know that scaffolding exists, and it's pretty interesting. It's got some cool building mechanics. I really like the way that you place it, but there are some slight annoyances in the fact that, say for example, we want to expand out over here, those pieces of scaffolding actually land on that daisy down there and get broken. So if I wanted to go out in this direction, I'd have to go all the way down to the bottom, break it, and then come all the way back up to the top. Frustrating. What you should use instead is slime blocks, because slime blocks are the only blocks that are breakable instantly in survival mode. I mean, just look at this. Glorious. Life hack number 7. Another German one. This is a jungle tree, and a rather pathetic one at that, but the best way to mine out a jungle tree is to enderpearl up to the top, and then mine downwards from the top. That way, you don't have to worry about things going missing, and also, it just makes more sense, doesn't it? I mean, look at this. This is so much easier. But we all know that jungle wood looks absolutely disgusting. It's horrendous. Nobody wants to use it. So what do I want to do with this garbage? Most people suggest that you have some form of rubbish bin in your base that is made out of lava that you can throw all of the things that you don't want into. But what if you accidentally throw in something really precious, like a diamond hoe? Then you've lost it forever, and also you can potentially fall in this, and that can cause you some damage. What I would generally suggest is that you just leave the items to despawn. You can have a special place for them, like a rubbish bin, but it means... You've ruined my clip! As I was saying, you can still have a nice looking rubbish bin. It just means that if you throw in something that you don't want to throw in, you haven't actually lost it forever. Life hack numero 8. I think that's Spanish, I'm not sure. I'm going to stop this now. This is a bit of a geeky redstone one, but if you want to simulate a one-tick pulse, sometimes it can be difficult to fire the lever fast enough. Come on! Oh my goodness! I'm usually really good at this! Come on! There we go, we've managed to make it work. A much easier way of doing it is by placing a redstone torch on the side or on top of a redstone block. Then you get one automatically. So you want to transport some zombies. Now the good thing about zombies is that you can give them items to stop them from despawning. And I would suggest giving them something like a helmet so that when it turns to day, you're not going to lose all of your zombies through them burning up. Because... yes, I was correct. Zombies that wear caps don't actually burn out in the sunlight. Suddenly had a little bit of a panic then when I realised I hadn't actually tested that fact. And another zombie related life hack is that zombies cannot break doors that are 1 block above the ground. I mean, he's not really trying it right now, But trust me, they can't. Moving swiftly on from that one. A chest is ever so slightly smaller than a full block. Then an anvil is ever so slightly smaller than a chest. Then an end rod is slightly smaller than an anvil, giving you a player ladder that's made out of actually useful items that could almost give you a secret entrance. Life hack number 13. Before Minecraft 1.13, I would always suggest when building underwater to bring torches or fence posts or doors, anything that will allow you to get your breath back without having to go back up to the surface. But in Minecraft 1.13, all of those things get waterlogged, so now I would suggest bringing along magma blocks. And one top tip is to always hold shift when you're walking on top of them so you don't get burnt. See, check this out. I'm chilling out underwater, my breath's not even going down. Life hack number 14. Another slightly geeky redstone one, but definitely a useful one. It was originally discovered by Ilmango, and he worked out that you can actually use triple C pickles to align items with the edge of the block when using item water streams, which means that, as you can see, all of these items are actually ending up in the hoppers, which is really handy. Say, for example, you want to create an incredibly large platform. You're building something like a mob spawner or just something that requires a massive platform. I mean, I don't need to explain it too much. Generally speaking, this is the way that I do it. Sometimes I speed things up and do something like this, but then that tends to happen. What I would suggest is, first off, go into your controls and rebind right-click to be something that you can hold down. I've just realized I definitely didn't rebind right click there. So rebind the key that you've accidentally just rebinded, and then find the actual correct thing that you want to rebind. Then line yourself up perfectly using the coordinates on the F3 screen so that you're not going to fall off the edge of the block, and then just walk backwards, repeatedly pressing your rebinded key. Obviously, on an area like this, doesn't make too much sense, but on a massive 100 block long strip, you're going to save a lot of time. This one's less of a life hack and more of a game mechanic, but still, everyone needs to know about it. If you cure up a villager that's been turned into a zombie, you get ridiculously good deals. Like, seriously insane deals. For example, if the villager is a farmer, you can give them one pumpkin and they will give you an emerald. Okay, so your pumpkin farm has just become an emerald farm. You have to do this. Slime blocks have been around for a while now, so I feel like people should know this. But in my opinion, they're the best blocks to use as a break fall in the nether, because if you fall on a slime block and hold down the spacebar, A, you won't be launched back up into the sky, which is the only issue with slime blocks, and B, you won't take any fall damage, which obviously is kind of the whole point of a breakfall. Now, sticking with the sticky blocks, honey blocks introduced in Minecraft 1.15 have a bit of an interesting feature. You can actually use them to walk along walls, because honey blocks are ever so slightly smaller than regular blocks, which means that you can actually kind of stand inside them a tiny bit. And this definitely looks just a little bit precarious. Life hack number 19. I think I've kind of lost count now, and I genuinely only found out about this the other day. The way that I've always navigated through signs is by pressing the enter key. It turns out that you can use the up and down arrows to go between the levels. So there's me, okay? If I'm here, I would always press enter to get to the top level. Nope, you can flip between them. How crazy is this? For the people who have known that for like 7 years since signs were introduced, probably not that crazy, but for me, it's bonkers. Now onto some photography life hacks. Say, for example, you've just built something that you're quite proud of. For example, this house right here, it's rather lovely, and you want to take a nice looking picture of it. Well, I mean, this doesn't really look that great. Whereas, if you stand slightly further back, and then change your field of view to 30, then you get a much more natural looking field of view for photography. You wouldn't want to play like this, it's horrendous. I mean, sometimes I forget to change it back and then start to feel very ill very quickly, but look how lovely everything looks. Another honey block related life hack here. A fairly well known game mechanic of honey blocks is the fact that you can't jump on them. This is as high as I can possibly go. It looks very pathetic, but that does mean that you can make some interesting looking animal pens. Here we have a bunch of honey blocks underneath carpet, and you can see I haven't had to use fences or walls or anything ugly like that to keep all of the animals in. Instead, I can use the much more modern and nice looking quartz stairs. And on the topic of making things that are modern and nice looking, say for example you're working on a build that makes use of concrete. You want massive concrete walls, a little bit like this one. Should you build them out of concrete? No. If you've already built them out of concrete, then I apologise for telling you this information. What you should do is build them out of concrete powder, then afterwards just start placing in water across the top, and that will convert all of the concrete powder into concrete, so you don't have to waste time in the beginning actually doing all of the conversion, which everyone knows is a massive pain in the backside. Another water-based life hack here: those soul sand bubble elevators don't work properly unless the entire chamber of water is made out of water source blocks. Now obviously there's a number of ways that you can do this. You could go in there with a bunch of water buckets, fill it up. You could go in there with a bunch of ice and fill it up, or alternatively you could drop in there with some kelp and fill up the entire thing that way. Now the only thing is, you can't place kelp on top of soul sand, so you're going to have to replace the soul sand briefly, fill it in with kelp, then replace that bottom block with the soul sand, and you'll have a perfectly functioning bubble elevator. Because in case it wasn't clear already, those kelp, well, they actually convert the water into source blocks as you place them. Bit of a weird game mechanic, but I like it. Life hack number 24, I think, I hope, I'm not sure. Jump boost actually allows you to jump 2.5 blocks. That almost looked like 3 blocks. Goodness me! What? Hang on, wait, what? No. Oh, I've given myself jump boost 3, that's why. Let's try that again then. Jump boost 2 actually allows you to jump 2.5 blocks in total. So if you need a 2.5 block area, I mean, honestly, this is now a little bit disappointing now that I thought we could jump 3 blocks. If you fly fast enough, you can actually fly through walls in Minecraft. Now, it does take a little bit of practice, okay, but what you have to do is you have to kind of fly out. You have to make sure that you level yourself up. Okay, you need to be level, then you need to fire as many fireworks as you can. And there you go. And you can just about make it through a wall, which is nuts. So there we go. 25 life hacks done and dusted. I hope that you enjoyed it. And, yeah, I think that wraps things up. See you later. I hope you had a good Christmas and all that. I hope you're planning on having a good New Year. Got your New Year's resolutions sorted. Preparing for those diets and things. Signing up to the gym. All that. I'm currently away in the Philippines having a great time, so probably having more fun than you, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's likely, isn't it?